before we started this interview, we were having a discussion, and I told you that I visited a few African countries recently, and the level of their put togetherness, cleanliness, and all that is top notch compared to what we have here. Even after saying this, how do we imbibe maintenance culture in Nigerians? Because everything we do and say, if Nigerians don't abide by it or don't put conscious effort to make sure that they don't write their phone numbers on the naira, they don't write their date of birth on the naira, they don't squeeze the naira, they don't tear part of it to use it to roll their ears, and then use sellotape to sellotape some part of it, and then some. How do we foster this habits, this character into us to, have conscious, to behave consciously around our naira? Because sometimes when you see the naira, you'll be very much ashamed to bring it out, because it's not only smelly, it's very ugly, that sometimes you see the naira, to touch it, you have this, and not just by commercial people giving you that. Even in the bank, when you go to the bank to withdraw money, you see them giving you all those ugly looking money. Because I want to believe that when all this kind of ugly money gets to the bank, they tend to change it or do something with it and put out new ones. How do we put in this maintenance culture into us?
When I gave the inaugural lecture at the inauguration of the Institute for Maintenance Culture in Nigeria,
yes, sir,
I did say to the Institute that for them to make any impact of any kind, they have to embrace two things. One was spread, the other was bite.
Okay.
Spread meant they had to be almost at all places at the same time.
Okay.
Then bite was that they had to find a way to assist in enforcement of laws that negate maintenance culture. Now, having said that, in your closing, you said it all. And it comes to the question that I asked. How come the central bank have not, in 2 years, remedied the issue of cash flow, so that we don't have a cash crunch in Nigeria in 2 years? How come? Then that process will end up with the answer which you, Divine, offered about absorbing old notes and issuing fresh ones.
Yes.
It's a system of the bank. As you pay into the bank, it's always been the system which I recognize in the banking system. As you pay in money, they take it back, and they know how to bring out the same money you've taken. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the technical aspects of it, but all you know is that nothing gets lost. So in the end, more fresh meat comes into the system to help you get on with your business. Because now what you are saying about making marks on the money, you're not going to begin to scrutinize every note that comes to you. So because those marks are made in their shares, when they sell things in the market, or whether they have any dealing, and he wants to remember that Mr. X is still owing him 200,000. So he says 200,000 from Mr. T. So he there and puts it one side. And then when Mr. T pays, perhaps he puts it in the one he pays into the bank, and it gets into the floor. And when you get it in your own bundle, you know what I'm saying? In fact, you see it. But then you find out that sometimes if they give you a bundle, half of the bundle are depreciated notes with sellotape here, sellotape there, and all that. Now, yes, you can take bad notes to the bank to change for good ones, but they shouldn't circulate those bad notes.
Exactly.
Which they do. So when I'm trying to say all this, I'm trying to link it to maintenance culture, even with you as an institute. It's going to be a tall order for anybody to expect you, even with my preaching that you should have spread, to go into every room to see who is defacing the naira and then bringing them out. But this should be something that ought to be done by the institutions governing the currency. The central bank, the central bank, and then the allied banks down the line should find a way to exchange these old notes for new notes. First of all, they should take control of the money flow.
Okay.
I repeat, I think 2 years is enough time for them to have remedied the situation so that you can go to the bank and get whatever amount of money they say you should get. It is an aberration, and I agree with those who have said it, for you to buy your own currency with your own currency in the same country. It should have been stopped by now. So it is not the areas. It will be difficult for the Institute of Maintenance Culture to get into the issue of getting directly into the issue of issuance of bad notes. Well, what they may do is to reach out to the central bank and begin to ask relevant questions, like I'm doing, and say, well, what is the delay? What is keeping you? Why is it not done now?
Okay, let's assume that the central bank has taken 2 years to rectify this money wahala in Nigeria. Okay, now we can go to the bank, get money directly, and not buy currency with currency. Now, my thinking is, should there be a penalty for any individual who writes anything on top of the naira? Because I don't want to believe that it's also one of the reasons why the naira is depreciating in value daily. I don't want to believe that it's, these things that we do to our currency is one of the reasons why, the naira keeps going down every now and then. What should be the penalty for any Nigerian who tears the naira or who writes his or her secondary school notes on the naira, or does anything that, let me use the word, dehumanize the naira?